moment. Yes, we're going. Okay, Frank, the purpose of these questions is to work as a prompt to guide us in our interview, but you can go wherever you want to in your memories. And many thanks for your contribution. And I'll start off with this question. What is your first connection to Rodborough? Or was your first connection?
I married and lived here. I moved here when I got married.
Okay.
Although, having said that, I was at Rodborough School.
Right.
And from 7 to the age of 11, having been born in Rodborough.
Oh, wonderful. So when would that be then? I wonder. I can't guess your age.
I moved here when I got married in 1965, but hitherto I was obviously born in Rodborough in 1939.
And so Rodborough and Rodborough were very, two distinct communities.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
In what ways did that stand out? That they were different and distinct?
Strangely enough, I guess it was the Mills's farm, which was the farmhouse, a working farm then, which was basically between the two villages.
Right. Okay. How different do you think, since Rodborough back in 65 to Rodborough today, how would you describe the main changes, do you think?
The main changes, of course, are housing. As I'm not quite sure when all the estates were built, but when I was a lad, the King's Court area, which is, I don't know what the names of the streets are and all the rest of it down there, but that was obviously fields. And I used to go and help milk the cows then on one of the farms down there, and equally all the housing down Rodborough.
Arundel Drive and all that.
Arundel Drive, yeah, they were all fields, of course, and I used to work on the farm there.
What, the farm down at
Mills's farm, yeah.
So Mills's farm and also the farm down in Kingsford.
Yeah.
So
I was a mere boy.
Yeah. And did you get paid for doing that, or was it just sort of experience? And
I sort of had pocket money for it, yeah.
And what about shops? So where did you spend your pocket money as a boy? How many shops were up around here then that are gone now?
There was a small post office, I believe, on the corner of Rodborough and Rodborough Hill. There was a shop next door to the Prince Albert on the Rodborough Hill side of it. But the favourite place to shop when I was at school in Rodborough going home to Rodborough was Baker Gardeners, which is a bakery adjacent to the then Princess Royal.
Right. Oh, okay. Now, so was it next door there was a shop?
There's a shop on there where the house is now gone. Ah, right, I've got it. There's a little village shop there. There's a shop here next door.
So next door that was a shop too?
Yeah.
Okay. And Gwendolyn Miles, she was born in she thinks in a house up here that was knocked down for road widening, but that would be about 1920 or something. I'm trying to work out where that might be, unless the memory's gone over here.
A house knocked down.
I wonder if it was on the corner with the green was there.
That was the house there. That was a shop, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether that's the one she's thinking of.
Was that before your time, or?
Well, it was. When did I go to Marling School? I went to Marling in 1950, and so I was at Rodborough School, I suppose, 47 to 50. So it would have been there in 1950 or thereabouts, I guess. Yeah.
Something that interests me in terms of pubs is that I've only come across the Princess Royal when Tom Spicer, my next door neighbour, was telling me about, probably after the war, the 1940s and 50s, how all the men would knock off at 12 o'clock at the allotment and they go out the Princess Royal then.
Yeah.
And was there any difference in the clientele between the Albert and the Princess Royal? Were people loyal to one pub rather than the other?
I think that the difference was the allotment. Because there's quite a lot of people that used the allotment that didn't basically live in, I don't think, the village. And they were there and they popped in and had a pint or two. And this is always much more of a local, I would say. But of course there were two pubs in Rodborough as well.
Oh, right.
There was the Lamb and the Woolpack. So there were 4 pubs in this row actually.
Yeah, right, okay. What has made Rodborough a special place for you?
I think the proximity to the town, the proximity to the National Trust, the proximity to just about everything that I need for my quality of life, which is the rugby club, etc., golf courses, town centre, leisure centre. It's the proximity of everything.
And do you have a favourite walk or memorable route around the parish?
Not really, no, not really.
But the bowling green, if you'd like to talk to me about that as a special place.
Yes.
Comes through your mind, back in what was its heyday, would you say? Over to you.
Well, on a personal note, I had an injury at rugby, and I moved into the village in *65 carrying this injury, and the diagnosis was that I should walk somewhere, but as it was a rugby injury I wasn't very happy about that. But I moved next door to the bowling green, and of course it was ideal therapy to wander up and down some 20 odd times 40 yards 3 or 4 times a week to play another sport. And I also got involved in it because the therapy also meant that I could actually go and cut the green and sponsor the maintenance of it and so on. So it became my hobby and also therapy. And in those days there was a lot of old people playing the game, shall we say, and I was very much a youngster in those days because I was about 28 then when I started. So and sadly of course it's now gone.
When I moved here in the 80s, it struck me as though there was a beautiful etiquette involved in it. Everybody was really well turned out on when you travelled or when other people came. Can you tell us about, a typical game on a Saturday afternoon with tea in here and all that kind of thing? That's how it seems to me. I don't know if I got it wrong there.
Yes, well, initially this was always the headquarters, and there was a room upstairs where we would go around about halfway through the game. The game usually started about 3 o'clock and finished about 6 o'clock, and around about 4:30 we would descend to the pub and have tea only. Drinks were kept for afterwards, with sandwiches in an upstairs area. There were always we had a green blazer with a club badge on it, and one of the disciplines that all the captains had was the fact that members should every Saturday attend the match in greys, change into whites with their green blazers and club ties, and purport themselves, very well on the green to look like a team.
Right, yeah. So when you say in greys, does that mean in civvies or
yes, it's just a civvy uniform to travel to the match. And if you travelled to an away game, you went in grey trousers, white shirt, club tie, and green blazer with the club or county badge on it.
And in the leagues in which was it the Rodborough Bowling Club? Was that the name? Or?
Yeah, it's Rodborough Bowling Club. Yeah.
So the opposition, some of the names of the teams against which you played.
Well, they're still alive, I suppose you say these days. Cirencester, Listers, Gainscross, Coke Chats is now gone sadly, but Stroud is still about. Frampton. Falcon, they're still here, and Painswick. I think sadly it's only Coke Chats and Rodborough who are no longer playing bowls.
Final question. It always the few times in which I went onto the green, I was really dumbstruck by the beauty of the view. What a magical kind of secret garden is the way that it seemed to me. So, any memories of being up there on beautiful days and looking out and that kind of thing? Anything that passes through your mind?
Well, it was a place where you could almost call it a secret garden. It was a place we had lots of parties that people didn't know about, with the lovely flat green overlooking Stroud, as you know. And yeah, we had lots of good times up there because once you locked the gate, you were in your own little hideaway.
Well, Frank, I'm really grateful for the contributions there. I was particularly interested in the bowling green, and great to hear about the farm and the bakery.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I don't think so. No, that's fine.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
No, that was pretty painless, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, that was brilliant.